Hello traders. In this video we're going to discuss the workflow that found this trade of the day setup in ABBV, and we'll discuss purchasing shares versus options and their results, and finally we'll discuss a few other trades that use this strategy during the week.
There you go.
Each day we check the markets, make sure we understand what's moving, what's in play. In the case of the S&P 500, we've been weak with the bank crisis on traders' minds. That creates a defensive mindset, and in this case, we saw that the markets were weak. We looked at the sectors. Sectors that were strong were XLP, XLV, and XLU. In the case of XLV, we could see very clearly that a lot of the healthcare stocks were in play. ABBV stuck out. We were familiar with ABBV because we've traded it before. It's recently pulled back, and we knew that it was in the top 10 holdings in JEPI, the JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF, which we had been talking about recently. That occurred to me that there was a 1.62% weight. So we understood that the markets were weak. We knew that defensive stocks were in play, in particular XLV. And we looked at the chart in the morning. Coming out of the opening range, we saw price was above the opening range high at 10 o'clock. We did have price above VWAP. VWAP was rising. And relative volume, or RVOL, was greater than 2 to 1 compared to the previous trading session. We started off around 10 o'clock with a buy signal. We had an initial dip down to VWAP. We pushed higher. We were looking for this setup with relative volume greater than 2 times normal, and VWAP tilted up and to the right. We knew that we had a pretty good, as price broke above 156.23. Our entry was around 155.65. I chose to trade it with shares. Had we traded it with options, we would have made about $1.85 to $2 on a $2 option. So approximately 90% to 100% depending on entry, versus $2 on 100 shares, with a lot more to risk buying the shares versus just buying the options. Additional trades that we took this week: Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, gave similar results. Apple on Tuesday opened with a dip similar to what we had with ABBV. Stochastic RSI was oversold. We had a buy signal early in the morning, around 11 o'clock, right around 157. We knew ahead of time that we had 155 as a put wall support, and we had 160 as a potential overhead call wall target, or an area where we would see option traders taking profits and thus creating supply. So the signal triggered around 11 o'clock, and Apple continued to go on to test the 160 level, with VWAP tilted up and to the right, price pulling away, and relative volume higher than usual. Wednesday, prior to the Fed, we also had some good trades on Nvidia and other tech stocks, following through from what we saw last week. With a buy signal early in the morning, we caught that during the opening range. Note that VWAP is tilted up and to the right, and that price is above. We're looking for high relative volume. Nvidia had greater than 2 times relative volume and continued to trade above VWAP, pulling away most of the day. We had a couple of sell signals at the high. When Jerome Powell came on at 2 o'clock, many stocks popped briefly, gave us an opportunity to exit. But again, a very successful trade, and price pulling away from VWAP on high relative volume. To summarize, in the morning, we check the stocks that are most active, which sectors are in play, and we'll focus on that group. We look for stocks with a bullish slope in VWAP for bullish trades and a bearish slope in VWAP for bearish trades with twice the normal volume, with a potential catalyst as an additional edge. That could be upgrades from a tier 1 firm like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, or it could be good news or bad news about the company. For future trades, we also have the weekly setup. We're above the 10 EMA. 10 EMA is rising. We bounced off the 382 Fibonacci level from the October 2021 low up to recent highs with a potential retest of 166.53 in the short term, while the daily time frame shows the breakout that we were interested in on Friday, looking for a follow-through in the days that follow. Volume shows that institutions are interested, like to see a little bit higher volume. Stochastics is a bit overbought, and MACD's above its signal line, so that's telling us we could consolidate here on Monday, Tuesday. That said, we will be looking for the same setup that we outlined earlier in this video for a follow-through on Monday and Tuesday. If you're interested in joining us during the live broadcast from 9:15 until 4 p.m. every day, join us by clicking the sign-up button, and we'll see you in the trading room with more potential trades in the future.